We have a lunar eclipse tonight, but it's going to be hard to see it because it should be relatively cloudy around the time that this happens, which will be early tomorrow morning. So if it is clear, you look to the west around 6:15, 6:30, you should be able to see that. It's also both a supermoon and a blue moon today, which supermoon just means it appears a little bit bigger and brighter, and a blue moon means it's the second full moon of the month. So a lot of things going on with the moon tonight, if you can manage to see it. That winter weather advisory, this runs through noon on Sunday for almost all areas. It ends at midnight up in Juneau and Adams counties, and you can see it has been extended now to as far west as Sauk, Dane, and Greene counties, and then everywhere to the east of there. So we'll continue to see snow showers through the rest of the evening. Temperatures will only fall slightly into the middle 20s, and those snows will continue through the rest of tonight as well. That's your first alert weather.
Very good, Bob.
Very rich and delicious.
Yeah, dude.
Bob's going to try it too, right?
EatWisconsinCheese.com. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
See you next month. Bob, take it away.
All right, I'm something of a master cheese eater. I don't know about making it, but I'll eat it. We are going to see some improvement in our weather over the next few days. Now, it's still going to be cold through this weekend, but any chances of snow will be very light, just in the form of a few flurries. Those chances will end by Sunday morning, and then we'll see a slow rise of temperatures. So we should be back in the upper 20s on Monday and into the 30s by Tuesday, making it look almost as bright as day with all the lights shining into those snowflakes and reflecting them around. It does seem quite bright. 31 degrees was our high today and 18 the low, so both of those numbers well above normal. So despite the snow, we did see a warmer than normal day, and we're still at 27 degrees right now, which is very close to our normal high for the day. So we have seen a mild evening. Tonight we'll see the snow showers continuing as we head into Sunday morning. We'll end up with snow totals in general between 2 and 5 inches, although we may see some higher amounts well to the northeast of Madison that could get over that 5-inch mark. In fact, some of those places like Beaver Dam and Partyville already have 3.5 inches of snow, and that was reported a couple of hours ago already. So they may have gotten up to 5 inches already at this point. Most places, though, are lighter. Madison, most recent reading was at 1.2 inches. We still do have a winter weather advisory in place for areas from Dane County to the east, and that does include Sauk County as well, until noon tomorrow. And that may be dropped a little bit early. It depends on how fast that snow falls apart during tomorrow morning. So 13 for the overnight lows, breezy with snow showers continuing, and then tomorrow will be much colder, 18 for the high. We have some snow in the morning, but by afternoon we should see quite a bit of sunshine. And then Monday we'll see the opposite. We'll start with some sun. By afternoon will be mostly cloudy with that chance of a few snow showers. The temperature should be about the same though, at 18 degrees for the high.
Very touching. And I'm touched by the warmth tomorrow.
Well, I hope so, because you're not going to want to be touched by what's coming. 42 on Wednesday, and then down near 20 Thursday and Friday. We do have a good chance of snow on Saturday, so that's going to be the best chance through this next week. Temperatures are in general in the upper 20s from Madison and to the west or east of Madison. Down to the south, though, we're looking at temperatures still in the lower 30s, and to the north, the colder air is starting to filter in. So we're down to 14 up in Watoma. Camp Douglas as well has dropped below 20. They're at 19. Those winds are pretty light right now, but we'll be picking up some speed. You can start to see some double digits up here to our north, La Crosse, Camp Douglas, and Watoma. These stronger north winds behind the system will usher in that cold air, and they'll also lead to wind chills that will be below 0 at times early tomorrow morning. Watoma right now feels like 0. Most areas, though, are in the upper teens or low 20s, with some of those warmer spots even into the mid and upper 20s.
Okay, it's cold outside. Let's leave it at that. Bob Lesh is out there braving the elements. But at least the sun's out.
I'm trying. Yeah, the sun is out. It's a perfect day to stay inside and look out your window, because it does look very nice outside. Doesn't feel quite so nice, though, because it is very cold and has been all day. In fact, our warmest temperatures were at midnight last night, and we've seen them falling nearly ever since, although they have ticked up slightly during the afternoon.
I'm not celebrating the weather.
No, let's not do that. You know, tomorrow's Groundhog Day. We got to celebrate that groundhog tomorrow. But he's not going to be too happy about what's about to happen to him when he pops his head out, because it is going to be cold, and we're eventually going to see some snow. Maybe not tomorrow, but certainly by this weekend. We'll have the details coming up. Well, we are looking at just a bit of a slowdown on the eastbound Beltline, but for the most part around the rest of the city, things are moving along relatively well. There are some slow spots along East Washington, and just now starting to see a bit of a slowdown between John Nolan and Verona Road on the westbound side of the Beltline. But for the most part, things are moving along relatively well aside from that eastbound side. So from University Avenue out to the interstate, going to take you 25 minutes right now. That's your first alert traffic. Well, we are looking at a very mild end of January. Yesterday, we were 16 degrees above normal, so put us at 1.3 degrees above normal for the month of January. Now, January started out very cold. February similarly is going to start out very cold with today's numbers, but we ended up warmer than normal last month, so we've got a long way to go to see how this month shakes out. One thing that has been very steady through this winter, though, is a lack of snow. We've only gotten 14.2 inches so far total. Normally, we're up close to 31 inches. Last year, we were just about right at normal. So, again, we are looking at some colder temperatures, maybe even some snow as we headed through this first week of the month, which means that maybe we're going to get a little bit more toward normal here in the next week. You can see a lot of sunshine that we've been seeing all day, but it hasn't had much of an effect on the temperature. Instead, the wind is our driving factor here. 10 degrees is our current temperature. Northwest winds are at 15 miles an hour, and so the wind chills are down at 7 below currently. As we look at our high for the day, though, it's 33. It didn't feel like 33 at all today unless you were up at midnight, because that's when that happened. Our low was 4 early this morning. We did see a little bit of an afternoon bump in temperature after that, and so we are back into the double digits in many areas, including Watertown and Madison at 10, 12 in Monroe, Mineral Point, Platteville, and Boscobel. Janesville still registering at 30 degrees. It's probably not an accurate reading right now. Winds are generally out of the northwest and around 10 to 20 miles an hour. They are backing down just a little bit right now. They were a bit stronger earlier in the day, but they are still strong enough to give us wind chills that are below zero across the board, with Boscobel right at zero, down to 14 below up in Watoma, 10 below in Camp Douglas. Our peak wind gusts today were very strong, so I mentioned we were getting those gusts into the 30s. Madison even reached 40 miles an hour on their peak gust for today, so very breezy, and that is going to continue to keep our wind chills down below 10 below in most areas as we head through the night. We could get as cold as 20 below, but that would be the upper limit. That should then alleviate a little bit as we head through the day tomorrow, and we should see some warmer temperatures at that point. Weather track showing those clear skies. Those will stick with us through tonight and through part of tomorrow as well. As we get later into the day, we'll see clouds moving in and perhaps a few light snow showers as well as we head through the evening. That'll just be the first round, though. Most of that snow will hold off until we get into the day on Saturday. Then during the day, we'll see that light snow continuing through, and we could pick up about 1 to 3 inches. So the first round really not going to get us all that much, but by the end of the day on Saturday, we could see about 3 inches, and then by Sunday, we'll add another inch or maybe even up to 2 inches there as well. So we're going to show you two different models, but they're basically going to show you the same thing, getting up to around 5 to maybe even 6 inches by the end of the day on Sunday. So tonight, 3 below for the low. Wind chills could be as cold as 20 below. It's going to be very cold to start the day tomorrow, but we should be up to 18 for the high. We'll have that chance of a few flurries late in the day, and then most of that snow will come in on Saturday. It won't be quite as cold on Saturday. We'll be up to 28 degrees, but we will see that snow. It'll be a light, persistent snow that'll continue through the day, likely then even extending into the overnight hours and then during the day on Sunday too. So as we head into Sunday, we are going to see colder temperatures again as a cold front will make its way through, but perhaps another inch of snow as well. So it's going to be a very snowy weekend, something that, again, we haven't seen a whole lot of this year, but it'll bring us at least closer to normal after that. Now, like I said, we haven't seen a lot of snow or really a lot of cold either through this winter so far, but as we head through the next week, Monday will be in the teens, then we're going to stay around 20 degrees or so through most of the week, with a chance at least of some light flurries just about every day. We probably won't see flurries necessarily every day, but at this point we'll at least have a chance, and another better chance perhaps toward the end of the week, Thursday night into early Friday. But you know, basically, this is a winter forecast if I've ever seen one, and certainly it's starting Jimmy out on a cold note, so maybe that'll influence his decision tomorrow.
Wow, that's quite a bit of snow.
Well,
if it comes to be.
By Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, so we could see, you know, 4, maybe even 5 inches. I think the models are probably a little bit high right now with what they have, but it would still be one of the more significant snows we've seen this year so far.
On a weekend,
Yeah.
no work problems, school
Right.
problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Good timing. All right, Bob, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.